Oh, hey, how you doing, folks? Dave Lawrence here once again from CyclingSouthernCal.com. This is my blog, and I want to do a little more, some informational material for you. Nothing too long-winded, I don't think, today, but hopefully you're still out there getting on the bikes, riding hard, fast, and continuously. And again, to keep people informed on, maybe some things you've already seen, but I just wanted to speak about this. About the Speedplay pedals. I caught a video on YouTube about a cheap way to grease your pedals using a little oral medicinal syringe, one of these goodies. For those of you that have children, young children, these are used widely for squirting medicine into their mouth. So I saw some videos where people were actually putting grease into this. Just basically taking this grease, opening the cap and popping it in there, and then inserting the tip into the grease opening on the pedal and just pressing that grease in. And I was kind of skeptical, even though I could see it on the YouTube videos. I was kind of skeptical as to how well it worked, and I talked to folks at the bike shops, and I even talked to Speedplay about what they recommended. And they, most everybody said that I talked to that had tried the medicinal syringe, the oral syringe, said you probably need a grease gun. You're probably not going to be able to push the grease in there unless you have a real grease gun. And grease gun and lube, order online, is about $38. I've got these things left over from when my daughters were little, so I've got a few of these around. So I figured, why not give it a shot? I went out and bought the lube. This is a synthetic super lube, or grease. I went out and bought this mainly because it has the Teflon particles suspended in it, as compared to something like a Phil Woods grease, which is a very heavy-duty, a good grease, which I probably could have used, but Speedplay recommended this synthetic Teflon impregnated lube. So I used that, and it worked fine. It worked just like it showed in those YouTube videos. So that is an inexpensive way of maintaining your Speedplay pedals. It worked for me, and from what I can see, it's working for other folks that have tried it online, as I mentioned. I'm going to do another little piece about the e-soles. I mentioned in my last shoe review, my cycling shoe review on the Lake CX236 and the Northwave Typhoon, that I had started using these, basically because they have these parts that are interchangeable. You have the metatarsal button. Again, they got two different types depending on what your foot needs, and then the interchangeable arch support here. So you can see that just velcros in and out. So there you have it. This is like the second to the most supportive that they offer, but again, they send you a kit with these pieces, these different arch supports, and as I mentioned before, the different fitting metatarsal button. So I started out with this e-sole application. I used the blue, which is the highest arch. I don't know, maybe you can see that. I started out with that, and it felt pretty good. But then I actually looked at the imprint of my foot, a wet footprint, and noticed my arch didn't really seem to be that high. So then I switched over to the red, which isn't quite as high as the blue. But again, this is the second most supportive on the scale. And then again, you've got these, I'm going to say the orange would be third, and the white would be for the people that have more of a flat foot. But again, you're always going to need support, because when you're riding, you don't want that arch collapsing or flexing too much, because that's going to rob you of power. So I just wanted to do a little bit of update as far as the e-soles. Seems to be a fine product. They cost about $58, I think. So it's a nice upgrade to any cycling shoe you might be using. if you find you need more support, especially in the arch. And that metatarsal helps again to keep your toes relaxed and spread apart rather than getting cramped up. So it just helps a lot to fit a shoe better with these different tools. And so that's it for now, folks. Again, get out there and ride, be safe, and as ever, peace be with you.